Hey guys, this is Joshua Meeks with the PNW team at Keller Williams Realty, and this is your February PNW monthly market update. So the first thing that we're always looking at on the monthly market update is the amount of active homes, the amount of recently sold homes, and the amount of pending homes, which is the homes that have recently gone under contract with a buyer and a seller working cooperatively towards a closing date. Now, what we saw happen last month is consistent with what we see happen every year around this time. The amount of homes available continued to decrease, and the amount of buyers that are starting to look back in the market is starting to increase. We always have around the January to February mark more buyers coming on the market, and most sellers don't really start putting their houses on the market until closer to April or May. It creates this kind of tense time where if you're a buyer looking, if you haven't noticed that competition is starting to increase. Now, take heart because more listings are going to start coming on the market. However, shortly following those listings, more buyers are going to continue to come on the market. So a little bit of increased competition if you're out there in the market today. What we're looking at is around 5,878 homes that have recently gone under contract. And that's a significant uptick from what we saw last month. Almost 50% more homes going under contract this month than we saw last month, which was around 4,008. The amount of homes that have recently sold and closed is down because, of course, that's reflected by the amount of homes that were going under contract over the last couple months when the season was a little bit colder. So that number is currently around 3,981 homes that have recently closed and just over 10,000 homes that are currently available. Now, what we would expect to see next month is likely the amount of homes that are available kind of plateauing, and then every year around this time, the amount of homes available for buyers starts to increase again around March, April, May. The average price per square foot went down from $250 to $241, and what we would expect to see over the next few months is that average price per square foot continue to increase. Keep in mind there are a lot of variables when it comes to the price per square foot because we're looking at a lot of counties, a lot of cities, a lot of communities, a lot of variations from the condition of the property to the amount of land, the age of the home. So if you're looking for more of a specific idea of your property value, definitely reach out to the PNW team so that we can get you a unique market evaluation on your house. We're starting to see a trend of every year having a little bit more homes available, homes taking a little bit longer to be on the market than we've seen over the last couple of years. The question currently is, are we still in a shift? Because a lot of real estate agents, buyers, and sellers are asking that question and keeping a good pulse on the market to say, hey, what's significantly different about this year than the last few years? And what you'll notice is that every year we're starting to see that crest or wave of the amount of homes that are available starting to increase and uptick. Now, keep in mind when we're looking at the average price per square foot or the average days on market, when you compare our numbers to what we were looking at back in, say, 2011, 2012, 2013, there was 2 to 3 times the amount of homes available. Those homes were on the market 2 to 3 times the amount of time that we're seeing in the market today. So there's still a drastic difference between that market and the market that we're in right now. The sustainability of that market and the incredible sustainability of the market that we're currently in. The average days on market snuck up from around 53 days on market to 58 days on market. Now that is measured by the amount of time in between the listing going on the market and being available and the seller accepting an offer from a buyer to begin the process of working towards closing. Now, we'll probably continue to see the average days on market increase a little bit before it goes back down as more homes are coming in the market and more buyers are coming in the market as well. The average list price versus sales price is around 96%, which is again a little bit of an uptick from 95% that we were at last month. To put that in perspective, that means on average a house that is listed for $500,000 in this market is selling for about $480,000. So it's really important to have those crucial conversations with your listing agent and with your buyer's agent regarding what is this home listed at currently, how long has it been on the market, and what are the average days on market and the average list price for this specific neighborhood. You might see some areas like downtown Sumner where homes are still selling for 100% of list price and they're selling in a week or two. You might see some areas like, Lakewood or Olympia where the homes are taking a little bit longer to sell and they're not selling for 101% of list price quite anymore. Finally, the months of inventory actually had a little bit of an uptick as well from 2 months to 2.6 months. Again, keep in mind this takes into consideration all neighborhoods throughout the Northwest Multiple Listing Service, which is the majority of Western Washington. Anything that's less than 3 months of inventory, if you recall, is still a seller's market, and anything that's around 3 to 6 months of inventory is kind of a neutral market. Anything that's above 6 months of inventory is considered a buyer's market. So we are still absolutely in a seller's market, and we would anticipate seeing that months of inventory go down a little bit. Again, to put that in context, the months of inventory is if you take into consideration the amount of buyers that are currently in the market and the amount of new listings that are coming on the market, which is starting to increase. It's the amount of months that those homes are likely to stay on the market without any more listings. So currently 2.6 months of inventory, which is matched up with around October of a year-long high, and we would expect to see that decrease a little bit as competition is increasing in the area. With that being said, every year around this time, people start asking the question, when is a good time to list my home? And obviously there's a lot of snow out there right now that creates a little bit of an anomaly within our area, but typically between April and August is what's perceived as the hottest months. However, if you are a seller who is willing to get your home on the market a little bit earlier this year, what you'll notice is while there's a lot of buyers that are out there competing before the rest of the sellers are putting their house on the market, you have an opportunity to have huge leverage and huge visibility for your listing. Finally, since the market shift is top of mind for a lot of brokerages, agents, buyers, and sellers, to recap what's been happening over the last year, around April 2018, we started to notice a subtle shift in the market right up until around November to December of 2018. Average price per square foot was going down, average days on market was going up, and sellers were getting a little bit more motivated within this market. And then the 1st of January came and we noticed a significant uptick of buyer activity, seller activity, economic confidence, and that's certainly exciting to see. So I don't anticipate seeing the same hype, the same excitement as we've been seeing over 2016, 17, 18 increasing. What we would hope to see is a continual balance between buyer and seller activity and a sustainable market moving forward. And that so far looks like what we're looking at for 2019. Hope this is helpful to you, whether you're a buyer, seller, agent, or somebody else within the Pacific Northwest. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us a message where you find this video anytime.